Hey friends, it's Ryan over at Changelog WP. In this video, I'm excited to share one of the newest features to our Changelog as a service plugin, and that is the ability to quickly and easily display changelogs for any WordPress plugin that is listed in the WordPress repository. We're going to check that out firsthand in this video, setting it up from beginning to end together and looking at all of the possibilities. Before we do that, if you go over to changelogwp.com and you go up under the header area in the navigation, click on Changelog Builder. This is going to walk you through all of the features of our free plugin that you can find in the WordPress repository. You can also check out our introduction video and just get a lay of the land as far as how our plugin works. It's very simple to use. It sets up beautiful changelogs with additional functionality as well. I think you will really love it. So let's go ahead and dive in. I've got a test site set up here. I have the latest version of our plugin installed and activated. Once that happens, you will see a changelog menu item. We're going to go under settings and just quickly review this stuff. The display tab is as it sounds. This is where you're going to control how your changelogs look and how they function, adding search, filtering, and that sort of stuff. Under the badges tab, this is how you control what your badges say and how they look. So for example, if you add something new to your changelog, if you add a security entry for your changelog, you're going to define how these badges looks based on those prefixes. In the how-to tab, we're going to show you how to use our plugin with the block editor, with Gutenberg, using a shortcode. And then if you're a developer, there are filters available to you, okay? What I specifically want to draw attention to for this video is using the shortcode option. And we're going to grab this shortcode right here. It's the last one in the list at the time of this video. And looking at the label, it says display changelog from a WordPress.org plugin. That's exactly what we want, okay? So we're going to go over to our pages. Before hitting record, I created a page called Changelog. It's just a completely blank page. Let's go ahead and edit that with the block editor. Now we're going to do this with the block editor, but chances are you're using some sort of a page builder or some builder that's going to give you a shortcode element. Using the block editor, we're going to just slash that leads to the right, and we're going to, there we go, shortcodes in there. You can start typing the word shortcode and drop that in there. If you're not familiar with the block editor, you can also click on this blue icon in the top left and grab the various blocks that way. We're going to paste in that full shortcode that we copied. You'll notice by default that it uses the example of the Akismet plugin. So it's using that slug for that plugin. So you want to add in the slug, exact slug for your plugin. We're going to use ours. I'm going to put changelog in here. Changelog and then service. So changelog dash service is our slug, and hit save. Go ahead and we'll view this on the front end. Just that fast, we have our changelog pulled from the WordPress repository. Now, you may be thinking, well, the styling looks a little wonky. That is going to be controlled by your theme, by your builder, by the settings that you're using, content width, for example. But the badges are controlled by our plugin, which we will look at here in a second. But if you're wondering about the content width, it looks a little scrunched. Again, it depends. I'm using the default 2025 theme for this particular video. So just something to keep in mind that our plugin can't control that side of things. All right, so one of the things you may notice is we've got an entry here that looks a little wonky, and that's for the change prefix. We haven't defined the change prefix within our badges. So we're going to come over here to our plugin. We're going to go to the badges tab. We're going to click add badge. You can also modify these other badges if that fits in with your scheme, but we're going to just add another badge. I'm going to call this change. I'm going to put a label of change. I'm going to set the background color to be orange and save. There we go. So now we have that nice orange badge with the badge label of change. So based on how you define your prefixes and all that, you'll have some minor adjustments. You set it once and you're good to go. Okay. All right. what if we wanted to do other stuff to our changelog? Maybe add a search feature. Let's go back over here to our display tab and click on search. Now we have this nice search box and we can search for any keywords. API, for example, in this case, returns all entries from all of our changelogs over time that have API in there. Next up, what if we wanted to add filters, badge filters? So we can come back over here. We can go filter badges. Now we can filter all of the changelog entries that are new, changed, or fixed. What if we want to filter everything that's new, but we also want to search for API? There you go. Next up, what if we want to display some metadata about our plugin, like the version number, PHP requirements? Go over to the display tab again, show meta information. There we go. Version number, tested up to, requires WordPress version, and requires PHP version. Next up, what if we wanted to include the ability to click on a simple icon and grab the URL for a specific changelog entry? Come over here to display, copy link button. There we go. We see that right here. Click that nice little icon and you're going to get a confirmation that's copied, and paste that link anywhere. That is an anchor link to the specific entry in your changelog. Super cool stuff. What else do we have here? Emojis. Let's turn on emojis. Once you turn on emojis, you can go to the badge tab and you have an emoji picker for each of your badges. There we go. So now we see these emojis here on the front end. Okay, what else? A couple more things and I'll get you out of here. You can define the number of versions to show in your changelog. Here you can define the default heading level. So if we go back to our changelog page, let's investigate our heading structure. So we see that changelog up here at the top is our H1. And we see here that our headings, which are the version numbers here, those are using an H4. That is defined right here. Okay. So if you have a beautiful changelog page that you're trying to SEO optimize, you're going to have H2s, possibly H3s, and so on. So you can define what heading, what semantic heading should these version numbers use. All right. If, for example, if I drop these down, because we don't have an H2 at this point, if I was to go set those for an H2 and refresh, we see that now our headings map is not throwing errors anymore because we have a proper structure there. Okay. What else? What else? Default order. We're going to show by default the newest entries first. The badge style, we have rounded. You can use square or pill. And then the badge position, default is left fixed column. And you can also set it to inline before text. Okay. The last thing, and we'll get you out of here, is now you've set up your free changelog like in a matter of a few clicks, and it's automatically pulling from the WordPress repo. Now, here's the other cool thing. We already at Changelog WP, if you go to track changelogs and you were to do a search for our plugin, for example, it's already being populated into Changelog WP. People can come over here and view it this way, and they can add it to their watch list. So now they can track the progress of this plugin over time and optionally receive email notifications as well. Super, super cool stuff. In a matter of minutes, you can display a beautiful, more functional changelog that also is already feeding into our system at Changelog WP. It's helping you extend your customer reach and establishing trust with potential customers as well. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go check out Changelog as a service.